say hi. Welcome back to Living Local on this Furry Friends Friday, where we introduce you to an adoptable animal and offer pet care tips. Today we're focusing on why it's so important to keep dogs updated on vaccines. We're joined by Rochelle Dougal with King's Harvest Pet Rescue. Rochelle, thanks for coming in again.
Yeah.
First of all, tell us who we've got here today, who's
Okay.
adoptable.
Right, so I have Adam.
Okay, that's Adam.
You have his sister Lydia.
Lydia.
Yes, so they're about 14-week-old kittens.
Okay.
They were from a litter of 5. One of them has been adopted, and so these 2 and 2 more, 4 are left.
4 total still available. Who can take them? Who would be a good fit for Lydia and Adam?
Thankfully, these guys were fostered, and so they were in a home with children, dogs, and other cats. So they would adjust well to any sort of new environment. I mean, as you can see here, they're calm and they're just hanging out with us.
I was going to say, that if they were already around little kids and dogs too, that's pretty much covers most of the
requirements.
Things, the things you're going to run into in most houses. Now, remind us again, for those who aren't familiar, how does the adoption process work?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. We want you to come in and meet the animal that you're possibly interested in, or come in and find one, and then you would fill out an adoption application. It's just a front and back piece of paper, and once our staff processes it, and if it's approved, you're eligible to adopt. So it's quite simple. There are some requirements though. If you have a dog that doesn't like cats, of course you probably couldn't get a cat from us. But within the right criteria, if you have an approved application, you're eligible to adopt. So yeah, it's quite simple. Just come on in someday, fill out an application, and we'll kind of guide you through the process too.
Now, why do you encourage adopting over shopping for any pet?
Yeah, well, I think the most important one is that 4 to 6 million animals are euthanized in U.S. shelters annually. So you're literally saving a life when you adopt from a shelter. But the cool thing is, and it's financially, I would say, responsible, because all of shelter animals, so all of our animals, will be spayed or neutered. They'll have updated vaccines. They'll be microchipped. They'll have received deworming medicine. Our dogs will get flea and tick prevention, heartworm test, and heartworm prevention. That's upwards of $300 to $400. And our cats are $70. Our dogs are $150 to $250. So it's a steal.
Yeah.
When you're shopping, you get none of that.
And you kind of have to do all that yourself then afterwards.
And usually adoption fees are 5 times the amount. So financially, we're the smarter option, I guess.
Smarter option, better buy, and you just you get to save a poor little guy or gal too as well. Now, you're offering adoption specials now too, aren't you?
Yeah, so today, happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Come and find your perfect match, and we actually are doing $25 off all cats and dogs. So that was from Tuesday until the end of today.
Now you also have a special event coming up too. It's called Sunday Pucks for Paws. It's going to raise money too. Tell us about that.
So at the Tax Slayer Center, QC Storm, during their hockey game, you can bring your dog. What? So there's going to be a bunch of dogs there. You do have to ensure that your dog has a current rabies vaccine and is registered with the county. And if you have those 2 things, you can come, bring your dog. Tickets are $10 for people, $5 for dogs. All of the dog ticket sales are actually going to be coming to our shelter and benefiting our cats and dogs. And there's a fun thing at the end where you can take your dog out on the ice with you too.
Oh, so yeah, that'll be entertaining to watch.
We're gonna have a fun time.
Now you mentioned the dog has to have a current rabies vaccine, right? We're talking about important vaccines for dogs. What other vaccines should your dog have?
Yeah, so with spring coming, you really just want to vaccinate to the fullest. So there's Bordetella, which treats kennel cough, and usually you don't get that unless you are boarding your dog. But if your dog is going to dog parks or going to events or around any other dogs, best to be safe rather than sorry. So Bordetella, distemper, and rabies are the 3 main ones. In the distemper, you can also get like lepto and things like that, which if your dog drinks contaminated water can get that. So when you go to your vet, just say, I want all 3 or 4 core vaccines.
Why are these so important? I imagine it has to do with, you just mentioned once you get to spring, they're out and about, and they're
yeah.
mixing around with all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, any animals they come in contact with, water, I hate to say it, I'm always talking about poop, but any other feces for an animal that can be contaminated, and your dog is going to want to smell it. It's just, there's so many things that they can get and can run into, and if you're active with your dog, it's really important that you just protect them from that, because they don't have a voice. They can't tell us when they're not feeling good or when they maybe drink some icky water, so do your best to just protect against all that.
And I'd imagine trying to treat something that could have been vaccinated for ahead of time afterward probably is going to cost you more.
Absolutely. Much cheaper option to vaccinate rather than treat.
Now, we also always hear about heartworm with dogs too. What can folks try to do to prevent that?
Yeah, so there is heartworm prevention. You have to stay up to date on an annual test from your vet because it's a blood draw. And heartworms come from mosquitoes. So how many times do you get bit by mosquitoes in the summer?
Way too many.
Way too many. Dogs too. And so again, heartworm treatment, $800 to $1,200. The prevention, $100, $150 a year maybe.
Yeah, good stuff. Important things. Rochelle, thanks for coming in
Thank
today.
you.
And thank you for bringing Adam and Lydia. They are our furry friends up for adoption today. If you'd like more information, you can always visit kingsharvestpetrescue.org, and we'll also have those details posted on our website, ourquadcities.com.